Hi everyone, it's me Darlene with one of my favorite old, very old house shirts. It even has a permanent marker stain like right there, and it's paper thin, it's got holes. I love it. Okay, we are going to attempt an upcycled fashions. How's that sound? It's going to be a very easy one. I'm going to always aim for easy. This way, if they get harder unexpectedly, we won't go into the terrifying zone. I have this dress that came from Margaret in Mississippi. We are going to take this girl's dress, and all I'm going to do is turn it into a two-piece, a top and a skirt. Maybe you even have a dress like this for your daughter or something and she can't wear it anymore. And, you know, if this is too tight for you, if you cut this, you might be able to turn at least the bottom part into a skirt for yourself, because it's surprising how much width there is there. So I'm just going to be cutting this off, but I wanted to say I noticed that somebody hand stitched these straps. They might have been too long, and one of them was twisted when it was sewn back on. So I will be cutting those off and putting them back on. So all I'm going to do is, and this is going on my smaller mannequin because she is in desperate need of a change of clothing, I'm going to leave some fabric below the elastic and hem it. Then we're just going to make a casing for the skirt and pass an elastic through, and we will be finito. There's no finished hem on this. It's just serged and with black thread, so I could hem that if I wanted. I don't have to. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something else along the way. I'm not sure. So now I'm just going to cut this off, and since it is so stretched, it's going to make it hard to cut evenly, but I'm going to just like go down, about an inch, and I'm just going to start cutting, and I'm just going to try to cut as evenly as possible. Another thing I could do is stretch this out or have someone hold it stretched and then cut across, but I'm just going to do this. Always make sure you're not cutting through both layers. Just a little bit more. Okay, let's go to the machine and finish up this part. And I forgot to turn my camera on. I was just telling you that I started on this seam, and I'm just folding the fabric down twice, and I'm stitching to make a nice little neat hem. Doesn't have to be too wide, but just folding twice. I'm not concerned with if I cut unevenly or whatever. I'm just gonna work it out as I go. And always stop with your needle down so you can, you know, move around and do things that you have to do without losing your place on the fabric. And that looks pretty cute. You can see it's, you know, very ruffled, so if it's a little bit uneven, that's never going to show at all. So now I want to look at these straps. Do I want to take a seam ripper? I guess I could do that. It won't take long. I'm just going to take a seam ripper and rip the straps off. It's only a matter of picking a few stitches. And I'm actually going to leave it sewn on this side, and before I lose my place, I'm going to go ahead and just straighten out this strap. I'm actually going to go press it. Hang on. While I was waiting for the iron to heat up, I undid the other strap too, again, just on the one side. So now I ironed them nice and flat, and I can reattach. I'm going to put it this way, right sides facing. I'm going to stitch across, and then I'm going to just let this go up like that. We'll see. We'll see how it turns out. If it doesn't turn out good, we start over. Actually, I'm going to just sew again a little bit below that line, so it'll be double stitched. I think that's going to be good enough. Yeah, that looks good. Other side. I'm going to go there, so I'm going to do it this way. My stitching is messy, but it's not going to be visible. Okay, that's much better. And now the little top is separate and it's complete. You will see it on the mannequin. Let's work on the skirt now. For the skirt, I will be using a 1/4 inch elastic. This is very lightweight polyester fabric, so it doesn't need a heavy duty elastic. And I'm just going to make a casing. So I'm going to fold in once. I'm going to go ahead and fold in once and stitch, and then it'll be easy to fold in the second time. So I'm just going to fold in once and stitch all the way around. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh my God. I have been sewing almost completely around this, and not once did I have thread in my needle. All right, I can see it got twisted somehow way up here. Let's try this again. Get in there. I'm finally ready. I think it took me 10 minutes to thread that needle. We're gonna do this right this time. Now I have that done, and now I'm going to fold over one more time. And I just need to make sure that I fold it over enough so that I can pass a 1/4 inch elastic through there. And I can just eyeball that. I'm going to fold it over like what I think looks like maybe 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to sew close to the edge. And I'm going to start before my seam and sew, and then I'll stop here because I have to leave a space to pass the elastic through. So it just left an opening right here. So that way we can put the elastic on a pin and just pass it through. Now I want to look at my hem. This is how it's left. And I'm going to go ahead and hem that. Another thing that you could do is you could add lace to the bottom. Do I have something? I don't like frilly. I have a flat white lace, but is there some white in here? Let me just go pull that lace and I'll be right back. Oh, I see there's a hole in this fabric, and I remembered there was a hole in one of the dresses. I actually got 2 dresses like this from Margaret. So I'm going to, how about instead of me trying to patch that, I'm going to go ahead and cut above that hole. I'm so glad that I spotted that. So I'm just going to find the hole right there. I'm going to fold this in half, and I'm just going to cut straight across. Geez, did I still leave some of the hole? I gotta go a little bit higher, a little bit shorter. Good. Since the hem had this as a finishing, I was either going to fold it and hem it, or I thought of putting some flat white lace to just cover that. But now that I've cut it, I don't know if I want the lace. The lace could bring out some of this white. Let's see. Let's see how it looks. I think I like it. I don't know. I'm not sure. It would add to the skirt a little bit. I'm so undecided, and you can't tell me. I like it that way. Because so many of you would say, add the lace, and so many others would say, don't add the lace. And that doesn't help me at all. I'm going to not add the lace. I'm going to just double fold and stitch all the way around. You could absolutely add lace if you wanted to. And I like how that turned out. I'm just taking this elastic and I'm going to go wrap it around my mannequin and make it a little bit snug on her so I can see how long I need this. And it's just the same way you do it on your own body. You take your elastic and you put it around your waist, and you can pin it on your waist and see if it feels good. You know, you want it snug enough so that your skirt is not going to fall off, but you don't want it so tight that you can actually feel it digging into you. So you just find where it feels right, and then you just cut it. You might leave like a 1/2 inch when so you can sew the ends together. Now that I have my elastic cut, I'm going to just put a pin through the end, and I'm going to find that opening that I left. I'm going to pass it through that opening. I want to make sure it stays flat. And I want to keep an eye on it, because as the end gets to that opening, I want to pin it so it doesn't get sucked in. So I'm going to do that right now before I forget. So I'm just going to, you know, keeping it flat, I'm just going to go ahead and pin this end right here with a straight pin so it won't go in. Now I'm coming back out that space, and without twisting the elastic, I'm going to take this end with that end, and I'm just going to lay them on top of each other. That's why I said you can add like an extra 1/2 inch or so after you find your perfect measurement. And I'm just going to sew those together with a zigzag stitch. There's no perfect way to sew that. I tend to get carried away. You can make a couple passes. You don't have to make that mess. Then I just tuck it in. And then I'm going to just close that opening, not zigzag. And we are done. I think the new shorter skirt is going to be cute on the mannequin. So that hole came in handy. But you know, I was thinking now, we have this. What can we do with this? I could make a choker for the mannequin. How about we do that? I think I want to just turn this into like a scarf, a head scarf or a neck scarf. I think it might be kind of pretty that way. I just don't know if I want to do it like this and then sew and then turn so that all sides are pretty, you know what I mean? So you don't see this side, you don't see the white side. But I do know that I want it long, so I'm going to cut this seam open. Just going to cut that seam right out. We have to avoid that hole, so it needs to be cut shorter. Oh, there's a rip there too. So I'm going to fold this and fold it again, and I can see this hole here. You can't. Where are you? Like here. I'm just going to cut above that. I think I cut above everything. And I'm going to cut the original stitching off because it seems to pull on the fabric a little bit. Now we have one long piece. You know, if I fold that in half and then turn that, boy, that's really going to just be not really any kind of a scarf. I mean, it still could work for tying around the head, or I don't know, maybe I should just go for a choker type thing with a little bit of an elastic in it. I hate to have this fabric go to waste. Okay, now I'm seeing some kind of a stain there, so we're going to cut that off. We're going to be down to little pieces of fabric. She'll have a little hair bow. I'm so undecided. I don't know. I hate to turn things, and I don't have the tool for turning things. There is such a tool. I can't remember right now what it's called. So what I'm doing is, I'm just, like, say it's like this. I'm folding in each edge, and then I'm folding that together. And instead of taking the time to go iron that, which would make it easy, I'm just going to suffer and do it right here. I'll show you in a second. What am I doing? So I'm just turning this side in a little and this side in a little. And I'm just doing that while I'm sewing it. Okay, this is turning out to be a twisty, turny, hot mess. So I'm just going to stop here, and I'm going to cut here, and I'm calling that the end. I'm going to go press it. I have no clue what we're going to do with this, but I just wanted to finish off that piece of fabric, and I'm going to just fold the end over twice on each side and just stitch that down so it doesn't unravel. I'm glad we're done, because this was getting to the point where it was starting to not be fun anymore. Okay, let's go dress the mannequin. I absolutely love this, but I am so mad that I didn't show it to you on her before. I only showed it hanging on the door. I love just the narrow choker. I just tied it into a loose knot in the back and let the rest of it hang down. I can't take the mannequin away from the wall and show you because they're heavy, but I just wanted to show you this. I just think it's so cute. And now it can be worn as separates. The top, the skirt, and you even have the little choker. So I hope you enjoyed. This was a very easy transformation. If you find any dresses like that at a thrift store or a yard sale, just know you can separate and at least have a skirt. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back with more soon. Bye!